Hello, all you beautiful working class parents. How y'all doing today? How many glasses of wine you had today is a better question. Today, I wanted to come to you and kind of address something that my number one fan, my baby sister, asked me to kind of do a video for. Uh, how parents can kind of juggle this, being a teacher, worker, and all that other fun stuff. Because a lot of people are kind of still working, but now have to be a full time teacher too. And y'all ain't trained for that. Y'all are amateur teachers learning on the fly. So wanted to reach out to a number of teacher friends of mine I have, because anybody who watched the first video remembers I graduated with an education degree from Purdue University. Spent 5 years working with kids in like residential facilities and fun stuff like that. I have a number of friends who are teachers at elementary, high school, middle school levels, different subjects. So I reached out to them to get some advice to pass on to you parents, kind of trying to fill their shoes and probably feeling like you're not doing a great job or just getting really frustrated and wanting to rip your hair out and drink a wine bottle every day to get through it. So I wanted to give you some tips and advice from teachers to kind of how to cope and deal with all this stuff. So let's get into it. Number one, try to keep the learning to 2 3 hours a day. I know it would be ideal if you're working from home and you got an 8 hour day. Keep your kid working on school stuff for 8 hours a day. That is insanely unrealistic. It's just going to drive you nuts and stress you out. So try to keep it to 2 3 hours a day. Um, Number two, pick your battles. Um, your kids are going to drive you insane. They're going to be testing you all day long like they do teachers at school. You're getting a little taste of what they do to them, except they got 30, 35 of these kids at once trying to push their buttons and test them and all that fun stuff, get away with stuff. Hopefully you only got like two or three, but pick your battles. One big trick I learned when I was working at a place in Baltimore was to give them choices. Like give them two choices, let them pick from the two choices you've picked, and then it'll feel like their decision, and they'll be much more or much less likely to kind of be upset about it because it was something they chose. And you can always remind them of that too, like you chose this. So pick a couple different educational things for them to work on and be like, which one of these do you want to do? Let them choose. And it sounds crazy and it sounds simple, but once you start doing that, you will realize your battles with your kids will go down significantly. Um, just a little trick I learned. Um, Number three, don't beat yourself up. You're doing great. You don't know what you're doing. You're not trained for this. You did not go to school for this. You are learning on the fly. You're doing great. You're doing your best. That's all that matters. Don't get too stressed out about it. Don't beat yourself up. This will all be over in due time. This is all new for all of us. And just don't beat yourself up. Try to stay positive. Don't let your kids see you get all angry. Let them see you being chill, relax, you know. And number four, read, read, read. Doesn't matter what they're reading, just have them reading. It might be a nice break time to have some quiet in your house. If you, just a family thing, like we're all gonna read for a limited amount of time. Just keep them reading. Um, if they can find something that they are interested in learning about, it's really easy to get them reading because it's the number one thing with kids and well, adults too. Is if you are interested in what you are learning about, it's not that hard to get you to read and want to learn more about it. Which is why school is so difficult because you're usually forcing kids to learn about shit they don't want to learn about. But outside of school, which is where we are now, you know, you're the boss. You don't have to necessarily keep them learning about like things that they don't want to learn about. As long as you can keep them reading and learning about something, do it. You know, no learning is bad learning. Your kids are interested in something, just figure out what that is and try to get them reading about it, learning about it. Um, reach out to your teachers if you have any questions. Um, they believe it or not, as much as you don't want to be doing what you're doing right now, they want to be doing that. They want to be back in the classroom more than anything in the world right now with 30 of them kids just annoying the shit out of them, because teachers are a different breed, man. They love kids. They love being around this stuff. I mean, there's plenty of days I still miss it, and it makes me feel like I belong in a insane asylum for missing being around such a stressful, environment. But I don't know. It's rewarding too. And the last thing is, once this is all over and we go back to opening schools and your kids are going back in there, education reform is needed. It's been needed for decades. Support your teachers. Show up to them parent-teacher conferences. Have your teachers back. Get more involved in the school. You're getting a taste of what your teachers go through. They need your support. The only way we'll get the education reform we need is if parents and teachers come together and are on the same page. So reach out to your teachers, ask them what you can do to support them and support education reform. We need this. It is needed badly. I hope this will help you see that, what you're going through now, and just how chaotic things are. Um, so support your teachers once this stuff goes back to normal and everything. And the platform you're viewing this on, YouTube, tons and tons and tons of educational videos for whatever your kid wants to learn about. I mean, I can't think of any subject in the world where there's not just probably 500,000 videos on YouTube about it. So um, have your kid watch some videos. I'm going to drop some links below for some educational resources, different websites that teacher friends of mine have passed on to me that they feel are good learning sites. So, you know, online learning stuff. Check those out. Hopefully it helps. Remember, you're doing great. Stay positive and have a glass of wine for me.